Now you may see a person who is homeless on the street, but then you might wanted to give her or him something, but at that very moment you might see how he might use this for drugs, he might use this for something else. Why can't he get a job? Now, even you force yourself at that very moment, it is not giving, because either you're forcing yourself to do something, but also you have this understanding of that your giving should be given to the place of most pure. But in the real reality, does the sun shine on your roof because you're the purest person? Is it anything in the nature comes on that level, whether the fruits drops from a tree, whether air comes into for you to breathing? So the real realization is that your giving should not have a level of transaction. If that a deep sense of awareness has come, and from that awareness, whether it's right or wrong, you just give it to that. Maybe giving to yourself, giving to a person, giving to the environment, giving to the community. Let it merge. That's why it says right hand should not know what the left hand is doing. What left hand is giving, right hand should know. Because the purpose of giving is lost then. And people feel that if I give too much, I will lose everything. It's actually not true. Because in giving, you create a momentum of flow, and it comes out of not feeling insecure. So it's really move into a place of you're having more to give, because you have become a vessel of that nature. Out breath is only going to invite the in breath. If you're holding the in breath so much, you will suffocate and you will go out of breath. So I want you to emphasize on these points and very gently bring that awareness into that place of realization. And the realization is not you're replacing a thought, but you're aware of your calculation of the thought. And that recognition is awareness. This is answering another email, that recognition of that I am thinking and I'm trying to replace a thought is awareness. So very gently try to bring this place of giving to yourself that level of spaciousness. So things can flow without your interference. Naturally, the body will give them. Naturally, your whole being is giving. So now finding a pose that you're allowing yourself to gently become and merge into that space, whether it's the breath, whether it's just letting go of that commentary for a while, without the judgment, without replacing by your thought, without replacing by, oh, this is not my yoga practice. I like the asana more, I like the meditation more, I like the nidra more. It's not about that. Just taking that personality out for a while and leaving that space, less clutter. So I will move the camera towards Darren. Now very gently. Shoulders roll back, opening up that space of the heart. And very gently allowing the space of the heart to rise. And very gently you're becoming aware of that space of there is something happening. The breath is moving in and out without your doing. And you're just creating a space for that. At that very moment, you will see how this body is holding. Where is this mind is. You don't have to describe anything of your practice. The best way to move into the practice, into the space of sacredness, just observing. Try not to put your practice into the definition of the sacred giving. You can only go into that space of awareness. So out of that awareness, someone is giving. You don't have to have a definition. That's a story. So today, let us begin the class by just be still to the story. And you can only do that when you have an insight. When you have that insight, you know how much you don't know. Because a thought can never comprehend or describe that giving. Now, arms very gently raised back into the crown, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Shoulders relax and very gently stretching that arms behind the head a little bit more. If that is too hard, holding on to the opposite elbows and very gently find the space of the body that has taken the form of the thought. Now breath out, let go of the story in the body, story in the mind. And let us all observe together, create a space without the story. So let the story run, but you are now aware of it. You're not buying into it. Now that is giving. Very gently take a deep breath in. Feel the body, feel the spine, and very gently twisting the spine to the left side and the body to the left side. Stomach gently pulling in and creating that space without the story, full of understanding. Even now you have a compassion to this body and to the mind because you have understood that it's limitation. Now there is a space of a pleasant part in your mind, part in your body, unless you have chronic pains, but then accept it as it is without asking for a change. So you're not seeking for pleasantness. Breathing in back to the center, shoulders relax and chest open. Change the formation of the legs. And very gently twisting, taking a deep breath in and allow the breath to gently move out to the right side. Now there is a space that generating kindness, ahimsa to the body, a great level of love, great level of compassion. Now try to be in that source of that space. Now whether it's creating by giving your time to someone, giving your resources into someone, now that's giving. Breathing in, very gently coming back into the center, shoulders relaxed. Just now very gently left arm on top of the right arm, very gently perfuming the Garudasana. Take a deep breath in and push the elbows up and look up into a seated cow with the arms in the Garudasana. And very gently breathe out into the space of the cat seated with the Garudasana. Now very gently observe the effect that you're having in the posture, in the body, but you are not the doer, even it's doing it. Doing belongs to the mind and the body, nothing to do with the space of awareness. Breathing in very gently, coming into the space of the cow. And very gently, when you're ready, breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Surrender always happens when it's not doing. Surrender into this space. You cannot do it. Breathe out into the space of the cat. Breathing in into a neutral spine. Twisting the spine, breathing out onto the left side. Now you can see a part you are, but you are not. Presence and absence both are together, and you're giving the space into it. Now Garudasana very gently performing in the other side. So right arm on the top. Take a deep breath. It's easy if you come to a cow first. Pushing up, softening the belly. Breathe out into a space of a cat. You are just as becoming that awareness of giving that space. The absence because the ego or the performer or the doer is not that important. Breathing in into a space of. Now the dependency of giving. I give you because I want something. That ugliness is not there. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Because that dependency to feel and control someone by your giving, that reduced, there's no expansion. So you will always the controller. Now very gently take a deep breath in, coming back, twisting the spine to the right side. Now you're coming, that is creating the reaction to fight with all your giving and to be profitable. That's all gone. Now the surrender will bring you more and more into the trust, not because you have got the best profit out of someone or you have abused someone and used someone, dangling your carrot, getting this donkey to move. That all have to stop in your life. Because sooner or later, the life lessons will come. Not against you, but to bring you back into the space. I cannot explain to you right now, but I can only indicate few directions in your own life and other people that you have seen. Breathing in back to the center, shoulders relaxed. Now very gently coming into the knees, coming into the hands, under the armpits, creating a space of a neutral cat. Now drop the belly and look up, tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Gently gaze into that space. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Just silently Watch it. Whether it's a blissful, whether it's anything. Now the observer has become observed, and it's not only that you're separate from the posture or a breath, you are it. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye. Feel that. The essence of you're with your beloved. You have access every moment to this. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Now, all of these giving space is happening to you because it's happening in spite of you. That's why only once in a while you can feel this space. When you bring you into it, it's gone. Neutral spine. Give a good rotation to the hips, the space of digestion. Let all this loving giving into the body, giving into the space, melt into that space of movement. Melt into that space of that giving. That sensitivity, let the gut feels it. Let the body melt into it. Let the breath melt into it. Onto the other side. Now the distance of the mind and body gone. And that moment, you will know what is giving and surrendering into that. But the mind will always create trouble onto the other side. Because mind will always want to control the situation, to see the profit of your giving. Very gently, knees wide apart. Take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front. Breathe out, push the hips into the back, palms facing up, very gently, allowing that space, that opportunity of knowing giving, then is not missed. Only out of this space you could ever give. You could attain total giving. Otherwise, all in life you're reading, following. So you're becoming that manual of giving, instructions of giving. It will never be a realization. It will never be giving. So what the practice is bringing you, you are not the doer of the giving. You are not the knower of giving. But simply you are that space of giving. And you have this amazing fragrance and the taste of it. Come through not knowing, not doing, but simply are. Now very gently, palms facing down, shoulders relax and let it sink in. crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Take that deep breath in and drop the belly, soften the hips. Your consciousness has many levels of doors. Openness in that sacred, infinite space. But what happens is your giving is not having any dependency on a return. Breathing in, elbows onto the floor, feet together, sole of the feet looking up, extension to the upper torso and the lower torso, breathing in into a gentle cobra. Let the cobra take the intense out and be in that relaxation space. You're relaxed because you have a different understanding. You're relaxed because this moment are full of openness to create. You're relaxed because life is full of this when you're in that space of the practice. So you don't have to wait for the opportunity because opportunity is you. So everyone will pick you up because you're already there. Shoulders relax, just open, elevate the space of the heart. Allow that space of the consciousness to be in the body, be in the breath, be in the space of the mind. Not performing the asana as a doer, that kind of consciousness, which is the asana gently exist. It exists out of innocence. So this body is going to go into the asana of giving. That happens many times when we are conscious about it. Happens when we are poses into that space. Relax, forward onto the floor. Shoulders relax and the chest is relaxed. Now take a deep breath in, arms stretch into the back, shoulders relax. Just become a few moments of this consciousness. So you need not to see where it's going to go, but there is a significance where you are at. Listen to what the practice is helping your soul to merge into that space. Turning the head onto a side, you can release certain tension of the back, tension of the neck, tension of the spine, creating that energy to flow. Now, very gently, if you have turned the head on to both sides and you have come into that consciousness, allow the practice to drop anything that is not essential. Then to get attuned with the essential. So see the false giving. See the false is the beginning of seeing the true as the truth of giving. Now reaching onto the ankles, taking a deep breath, open that back so you're not tightening the back. So take a deep breath in, very gently coming into that space of the doer is absent from the doing, and there is a space that you are attaining, a peak that you are attaining, not you as what you knew, but let the breath take you deeper and deeper to the existence. Take a deep breath in, breath out, heels closer to the buttocks, don't release it, and just bring the head and the chest onto the floor. Now give a tiny acupressure into the feet, nothing else, nothing to create, but just now very gently let go. Now in this giving, the source of the giving, the creator of the giving is not separated, it's one with it. So you are lost, you have forgotten yourself. You forget everything that is coming to a normal mind. Am I giving too much? What happens if I give food? I will run out of food. Forget about your own thirst, forget about your own sleep, you forget about your body. So much you can go on giving. Each moment is absolute satisfying. So these differences have to be conscious. Good job, good space have been created. Only when the giving is completed, there is a satisfaction. And after giving, the inquiry should be, did I give enough? No. That it's over. The great sadness comes, not what you gave. Oh, the source has come into end. This is the peak. This is the climax. This is the orgasm of giving. Being with the unknown of giving is over. Shoulders relaxing, chest open. Palms onto the chest level. Very gently breathing in into an up phase. Shoulders relaxed, just open. Soften those foreheads. Breathe out onto a gentle down phase. You can go to the knees, you can stretch to the side, whatever is needed to be in that space. Bending one knee at a time to release in that tension. You're again now feeling full that you have shared it again, given it again, creating the space for it. Bending one knee at a time, release the tension. Lifting up onto the toes, Very gently pushing down to the heels. Now very gently drop the knees. Stretch the spine. Crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing in into a up face. Overlooking while you're on the up face onto the left side. So twisting the body. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out to the right. Breathing in back to the center. Let the time never pass as if time has stopped. Breathe out towards the down face. Now take a deep breath in and left leg up into the back. Give a rotation to the left foot. Pointing and flexing the left foot. Left knee to the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee into the left elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretching to the back, interlacing the fingers. First interlace the fingers. Stretch, elbow stretch. Arms raise onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. 6 deep cycles of breath. In breath to raise the vibration, out breath to bathing on it. Let the posture and breath to become the growing and flowing. Of course, nothing ever is perfect. But have the right vision of the practice. Now take a deep breath in, arms raised onto the crown. Arms facing up, shoulders relax and chest open. Turn to the right side and open up onto that great warrior. Take a mudra of completion. Completion of that any moment your realization has come into its perfection mean of the posture. No more possible. Any moment you can disappear into the cosmos. You don't even have to do postures or even continue life. Now this moment you have gratitude in this posture, in this pose. We are a breath, we are a body, we are a consciousness. Everything has appeared, but you have disappeared. And you're allowing that space of the heart to bloom. Gentle arch. Back to the center. Elbow onto the knee. Very gently, right arm roll back into the hip, opening up that right shoulder blade, creating right chest to be open, finding a space to open up that space without triggering the tightness. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling, breathing in, breathing out, right, reaching into the front and touch the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling, clench and unclench. Left arm reaching into the back, touch the floor. Drop the back knee onto the floor. Push the hips into the front and into the back to open and create a space very gently. Couple of more times. Palms onto the knees, shoulders relax and chest open. Finding a space that what more than this inquiry of I am so grateful for things that I have received and same that I have shared, whether it's from the mind and the body, whether it's my doing through that realization. But what more than this? Life remains growing. Nothing ever is perfect. This is that space of nirvana. Cessation. Suddenly ownership into this body and the mind as blowing out that candle. Just as you blow, suddenly the gone forever, disappear into nothingness, spaciousness. Take that deep breath in and arms raise onto the crown, interlacing the fingers, gentle arch. Don't allow it to hanker into the doing again. Breath out, spread the wings wide and touch the floor. Into a plank. Left foot over the right foot in the plank. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Breathe. Create that space. You're heavy into the pose because you're doing. Left reaching into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knees. Stretch the spine. Palms facing up. Don't anchor into the body or to the mind. Bring the practice into the deepest core of the space of the heart. Let your giving comes from the subtle to the gross, and then the transforming. So realization of that subtlety coming to the gross part of the body, intricate part of the body, the mind. There is a space just left, cannot be answered. Not that you don't know, but to bring to words is impossible. Bring into movement is impossible. Bring into logic is impossible. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Relax into the space. Right leg up into the back, rotation to the right foot. Flexing and pointing. Take a deep breath in. Right knee to the right chest. Breathing in, stretch back. Breathe out, right knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Right knee to the left elbow. Breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers. Take a deep breath in, arms raise onto the ground, interlacing the fingers. Palms facing up. 6 deep cycles of breath. Every breath out, releasing that life that you live in present of condition. Arms raised onto the ground, palms facing up. Turn to the left, opening up into that realization that I have come out of the prison of the religion, the ideology, conditioning, education. So instead of your bragging about, now we are surrendering into the total liberation, take a mudra, just representing that space, the things that narrow down your consciousness, things that has changed you, your being. Anybody that in these times belonging to any crowd out of fear, out of conditioning, out of daydreaming, is not really awakened, is not yet even born into the body, though we have a body and a mind. Gentle arch, surrender. The thumb can be hold on to the back a little bit more, opening up, right arm reaching back to the center, elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching. If you want to keep the elbow pointing, it's much more powerful than reaching up. Just surrendering into that space of the right hip, left shoulder open. And allow this opportunity that has come to you through the practice. Don't waste it. Now stretch up, back to the floor, left arm, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, clench and unclench. Right, reaching into the back, touch the floor. Drop the back knee, holding on to the front knee. Now take a moment of this good and bad, right and wrong. All these which are basically is controlling you. Take this moment. Arms stretching to the back. Arms raised onto the crown, interlacing the fingers, palms facing a gentle arch. Breath out, spread the wings and touch the feet. Take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front and into the back foot. So release that tension, release that lower back, release that condition. Take a deep breath in, push the hips forward into a plank. Strong on the pelvic floor, stronger on the back of the head, alignment of the spine. Right foot over the left foot, opening up the right chest. If this is harder, drop the left elbow onto the floor. The realization brings you compassion. Right, reaching into the front. Drop the knees, stretch the front. Now you want to help by giving. You want to help to stop the suffering of the humanity. Not poor people only suffer. Educated, rich people also suffer. So that suffering only can be released by realizing that they are not who they are, that they think. Don't become an agent of doing things. Agent to an establishment, agent to a force. Agent to a thought. Every moment give that truth and birth to that moment. You cannot come into a moment if you're conditioned by the past and you want to take that past to the future. If you see all the Buddhist sutras, they're not written as a book. They're given to the monks to meditate on. Child pose. Coming into that space of the innocence. Coming into that innocence is giving. Dropping all that prejudices. How can you ever know what is giving if you have already decided what is You're already functioning from a place of conclusion. You have never arrived to the truth, never arrived to the gift. So let this practice to drop all the priori assumptions. Let this practice start by dropping all the beliefs. Then you are a true seeker of giving. Everybody has an idea and a belief of giving. Now very gently waking up the spine, one vertebra at a time. But this very moment is free from all those beliefs, all those gatherings. Knowing only happens when you are not knowledgeable, but innocent. Knowing happens to those eyes which are absolutely without the dust of education, without the dust of born into this or that. When you look at the eyes of a little baby, suddenly you forget that you're thinking, because the thinking process has not taken in that baby. The language process has not taken, but it stopped you. So you have come into, you no longer has come into somebody's journey, somebody's giving. When you come into that realization, arms raised onto the crown, palms onto the namaskar position in self-realization of the self that does not exist. But the realization itself is in. Very gently chanting as 3 ohms to celebrate that awaken, the place of the Dharma, the teaching, place of the community that gathers in this time to awaken furthermore and become the beacon of the truth. Beacon of the giving. Chant in 3 ohms with me. Arms gently raised back to the crown, cleansing the space and the aura of your gross body. Cleansing the space. Touch the earth. Respect for all the elements of the earth. Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Patavi. That particles, air particles, water particles, heat particles. That we have borrowed and one day we have to give them back. but our realization remains, and that it can be created anywhere at this very moment. Whether it's a space of giving, space of loving, space of kindness, space of compassion, gently coming out of the physical practice, remain in that great space of that awareness. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste to everybody. Namaste. So today's class was deeply about giving, but you're removing the doer and where your giving should go, where it shouldn't go. So you come into a space of first giving the space to yourself. So out of that spaciousness, not out of that emptiness, even the sunyata is explained as emptiness. I think it's space. Out of that space only you can really become the vessel of giving. And when you give, we have an ownership of our giving, that we gave them that, we gave this person this, so therefore they should remember that. But actually, have we ever discovered that they also previously bring their own karma, whether their giving comes from you or somewhere else, it's also their karma to receive it and to give it. So having that personal ownership to the story, and when your giving becomes free of the story, it's easy to give. It's easy to feel also that your life rich. So this is about today's lesson. So at the moment, thank you so much for Josephine. Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much, Marie, Maria and Sage. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you so much, Beata. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you so much, Nicolina, Adriana, and Diony. So share these classes because they are free, and let people understand the truth, the essence of the yoga, the essence of purity, essence of giving. Not that they are doing something wrong, but it's very important that the humanity realize this space. Until we realize this space, we are still in that place of shackles and space of prisons. We are not ever liberated. So once we have come into that space of the liberation, no one controls us. We are free individuals, but also free a collective consciousness. And out of those places, great results will come to the world. Great results will come to the galaxy. And that's what we can leave into our younger versions of ourselves and the new generation. So my love to all the light workers and all those beautiful people who are joining these classes. Hi, Diony. So I'll give you a big hug, and I'll see you next week, and I'll see you what the guides are telling me to teach, and I will teach the topic. If there is no topic also, there will be a topic afterwards, will come out of that great realization. Love to you all.